Dan Bidondi for the INFOWARS Nightly News. And we are just days away from a possible attack on Syria. However, the Chinese and Russian government have warned us that they will not tolerate such an attack because there is no sufficient evidence that the Syrian government used chemical warfare on its own people. Even our Secretary of State, John Kerry, has admitted there's no sufficient evidence, but yet he still wants to go attack Syria. And according to recent polls, only 9% of the U.S. public support President Barack Obama in his unconstitutional campaign to attack Syria. And today, when Providence, Rhode Island, we're going to ask the public what their thoughts on Syria and if we should or should not attack Syria. I got a couple questions for you. Are you for or against U.S. military action in Syria?
I am absolutely 100% against military action in Syria.
Against.
Against.
Actually, I'm for it, and I'm a peace freak. I'm an old hippie, but I'm for it.
I'm against this. Oh, against.
Against.
Against it.
I'm against U.S. action.
And reason being?
I think that we don't have any interest in Syria, and obviously we seem to pick and choose who we'd like to defend in the world, and I don't think that we have any business in Syria.
We got to take care of our own people.
Because I don't think it's a solution.
Because it's going to escalate into something more if we don't nip it in the bud now.
Why? Well, they're just like anything else. Geopolitics is a big chess game. They're not using it for moral purposes. This is the same rhetoric we're hearing now about Syria. We heard it in the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War. It's an immoral action, and there's no evidence to back up that Assad was using chemical weapons on his people.
If they aren't able to tell who's at fault here, how can we justify an attack?
Because it's obviously Assad. His family has been in power for, what, 47 years?
I don't think they can justify attack if they're not able to prove who has used the chemical weapons.
Oh, we can't. I mean, you can't attack someone without being completely positive.
Are you aware, going back to the Gulf Wars now, are you aware that our government told Saddam Hussein to evade Kuwait prior to the war, and that the babies in the incubator story was just a lie?
No.
I'm not sure about that, but like I said, we ought to keep ourselves to ourselves.
I was not aware of that, no.
Do you remember why we went to war with Iraq the second time?
Nuclear weapons, I guess?
No.
Weapons of mass destruction?
Yeah, that we couldn't find.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Was it about weapons of mass destruction that never existed?
Are we at war with Al-Qaeda?
Kind of seems to change. I don't know who we're necessarily at war with, but supposedly that's who we're at war with.
It seems that way.
Yes.
Yeah, on a sly, because Al-Qaeda is like a mysterious kind of underground operation.
And are you aware that we are funding Al-Qaeda, according to CIA.gov and our government?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
No.
I was not aware of that, no.
Oh, are we funding Al-Qaeda?
CIA runs the whole country.
Oh, that's terrible. No, I'm not aware of that. That's rotten.
Do you know why we went to war with Vietnam?
No, I don't.
The reason that they say we went to war with Vietnam is because they were communist, then the communism was going to spread.
Something about communism.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, I got my draft notice to go to Nam.
Yep. And remember the Gulf of Tonkin incident?
I certainly do.
Where it's now come out, even mainstream media admits that they blew up 2 of our Navy ships, but it was our own government that did it to win public support.
Yeah.
The false flag.
Good old LBJ.
Well, I wasn't aware about that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Our own government did that?
Yep. On record now.
I'm ashamed to be an American.
Considering now all these stories that they tell us are fake, so if our government has this history of going to war based on lies, why should we believe them this time?
Because I think this situation is real. And I trust Obama.
You shouldn't have to. We'll just keep everything to ourselves.
I don't think we should.
You know what? I wouldn't believe anything that they say at this point.
You seem to make a compelling argument as to why we should not believe them ever.
The drums of war are now beaten as we move toward World War III. And will we see Obama push another unconstitutional war to yet invade another country to further along the New World Order agenda? And to support recent polls, as you've seen here today, most Americans do not want to go to war with Syria. As Alex Jones put it, they're going to use Syria as a detonator to launch World War III. And this is Dan Bidondi reporting for the INFOWARS Nightly News.